afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to St. Newsfile. I'm Colton Young. Haven Tilbert will have a look at the latest sports later in the show. What can we expect, Haven?
Well, Colton, we're going to be taking a look at the Calgary Flames and a bit of baseball.
Absolutely. Thank you, Haven. Olivia Walker has been enjoying some nice spring weather outside today. How's the weather looking, Olivia?
Thanks, Colton. It's definitely a little cooler today from the rest of the weekend with some sun peeking through, but still a lot of wind. Today's high will be 12 degrees and will reach a low of 5 later in the evening. The record high of today was back in 1996 when it was 21 degrees, and the record low was in 1945 and it reached minus 19. Hopefully the rest of the week will start to warm up a little bit so we can start hitting those patios. Back to you.
Thanks, Olivia. Now here's a look at today's top stories. He's done it again. U.S. President Donald Trump has changed his mind about tariffs. He has put a 90-day pause on some tariffs against countries who haven't retaliated against him. He is also vowing to raise levies against China to 125% effective immediately. The auto industry will still face 25% tariffs, which depend on global supply chains for raw materials, parts, and vehicle assembly. U.S. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent confirmed that Canada and Mexico are included in the pause on those 10% duties. The actual impacts aren't clear. Within minutes of the tariff pause, the stock market spiraled around the world. At midday, the Toronto Exchange was up over 5%. The Dow Jones rose over 7%, the largest on-day point gain in history. The Nasdaq Stock Exchange was up nearly 10%. Even the Mexico Stock Exchange was up 3%. With the unpredictable markets and the effect on the economy, Alberta will be depending on tourism to weather the storm. The latest visitor numbers look like the province may see another boom in tourists this year. SAIT's Jack Rosa has more.
Alberta says that the province is on track to break new records for tourism and annual visitor spending in the coming years. Back in 2023, Alberta broke records with annual visitor expenditures soaring to over $12.5 billion, surpassing the previous record by nearly 20%. Data from the first 3 quarters of 2024 shows that Alberta's tourism sector is booming. From January to September, Alberta's tourism revenues have grown by 10% year after year.
Hoping that we still continue to see very positive and high intentions to visit Canada, which we are currently, that hasn't changed.
In that same time span, Alberta's tourism growth outpaced Ontario and British Columbia by double the rate and triple the rate of the national average. The province says it's on track to reach its $13.4 billion goal in visitor spending this year, and, with a larger vision in mind, reaching $25 billion by 2035. The country that Alberta sees the most international visitors from is the United States, which still is a steadily growing market even amid a trade war between Canada and the U.S.
Last year in 2024, it delivered about $2.9 billion to the local economy. We see over 8 million people come and visit our city.
Tourism Calgary are looking to have double the economic impact for the city in the next 10 years. For St. Newsfile, I'm Jack Rosa.
Alberta Premier Danielle Smith will be meeting with officials in Quebec and Ottawa from April 9th to the 11th in hopes of boosting interprovincial trade. For 3 days, Premier Smith will be traveling around Eastern Canada, starting in Montreal, where she'll meet leaders of Quebec's private business sector, focusing on a variety of industries, including energy, manufacturing, aviation, and transportation, before traveling to Ottawa to meet with diplomatic representatives and government officials. Smith will be joined by Minister of Transportation and Economic Corridors, Devin Deschreen, for meetings with key leaders in the transportation sector. Liberal leader Mark Carney was in Calgary for a rally on Wednesday on a tour trying to convince Albertans to re-elect the Liberal Party. Carney says he wants to speed up major natural resource project approvals, something he pitched to necessarily to make Canada an energy superpower, as he looks to expand trade ties beyond the U.S. Albertans are being promised that if the Liberals are re-elected, he would sign an agreement with willing provinces and Indigenous governments that recognize energy projects assessments from their jurisdictions. Carney plans to sign these contracts within 6 months of taking office. He also vowed to speed up approvals for such projects by establishing a single office for major federal projects that would render one decision after just one review. It's no secret that many people in Alberta feel that we aren't treated fairly by Ottawa. A new survey revealed 1 in 4 Albertans would choose to separate if there is a referendum vote today. Evan O'Reilly has more on the story.
A recent survey done by the Angus Reid Institute indicated that 1 in 4 Albertans are in favor of the province separating from the rest of Canada. Although it's not a majority, it is still a decent portion of the province. With the ongoing trade war with the United States, many think Canada is working together more than ever.
I think it's a waste of time. I think Canada's uniting now. I think, in my personal opinion, the one good thing that Donald Trump is doing for Canada is uniting us as Canadians.
Many Calgarians feel patriotic about Canada and don't want to separate from the nation.
No, I don't think we should separate from Canada. I'm a proud Canadian, and I'd like to keep it that way.
Many believe separating is something that should be considered. The poll found that only 24% of Alberta feels respected by the rest of Canada.
I think we should look into it a little more. It would be hard to leave Canada, but I've felt that quite a few of the last few years that we haven't been treated very fairly in Alberta.
That's crossing the line, I think, and pinching nerves. But opinions vary. Myself, yeah, I think it would be a great idea.
With the election approaching, it could have an impact on people's opinion on the matter.
But it sounds like people have got their minds pretty well made up already, so we won't know until someone's elected what will happen.
It is clear many Calgarians have differing opinions on if they should separate from the rest of Canada. I'm Evan O'Reilly for St. Newsfile.
The number of measles cases continues to rise, especially in Alberta Health Service Central Zone in Two Hills. As of noon Tuesday, there have been 43 confirmed measles cases across Alberta. 21 of those in the Central Zone. 7 new cases were identified in the past 24 hours. Out of 43 confirmed cases, all but 4 are individuals under the age of 18. According to the province's dashboard, Health Minister Adriana Lagreen states that the outbreak isn't severe enough for the province to address the public, despite growing calls for the government to take further action to prevent the spread. If you need to take the C train through downtown this weekend, expect some delays. The 7th Avenue LRT line will be closed for maintenance on Saturday. Anon Unitin reports on how to get around Calgary.
A recent survey done by the Angus Reid Institute indicated that 1 in 4
Calgary transit riders can expect service disruptions on 7th Avenue during the weekend. Both the red and blue line stations in the downtown core will be closed during service on Saturday from 2 a.m. till 10:12 a.m. C-train riders are encouraged to find an alternate method for travel for the downtown sector.
We'll have the shuttles running on 6th and 9th Avenue and hitting all the stations that will be impacted by the closure. As soon as the closure ends, we will be running single tracking at City Hall, Bow Valley College.
The closure will look a little different as they're working mainly on the switches at Olympic Plaza.
We'll be having the closure to get safety inspection done on the overhead catenary system, so the power system overhead.
Regular riders of the C-train network share their thoughts on the closures and alternates while they plan traveling.
If it's just for one weekend, then that's fine. But, because I have alternate ways to get around, I can take my bike or, take an Uber or something. But if it's on the regular, then yeah, it would be a problem.
Luckily for me, I do drive as well. So I drive to Dalhousie Station and then I take it here to SAIT. So if anything, I'll probably just drive downtown and park since parking is free on the weekend downtown.
You can expect delays, so plan accordingly and take alternatives if possible. For St. Newsfile, I'm Anand Dunithan in Calgary.
A developer's plan to build more than 1,200 housing units on a former school site in southwest Calgary was given the go-ahead after a lengthy public hearing on Tuesday. After hearing from approximately 40 Calgarians who both support and oppose the proposal, City Council voted 9-5 in approval for the application to redevelop the former Viscount Bennett High School site in the community of Richmond. Councillors Dan McMillan, Sonia Sharp, Shane Chu, Terry Wong, and Andre Chabot voted in opposition, citing concerns with the scope of the development, as well as the loss of green space and how public consultation was conducted. The former school, which was built in the 1950s, is being demolished. It has most recently housed Chinook Learning Services before it was vacated and boarded up in 2018. Going to a movie should be entertaining. However, if you go to the new Minecraft movie, you may get more than you bargained for. As Noah Abel reports, the people watching are getting out of hand.
If you're planning to see the new Minecraft movie on the big screen, be aware. Over the weekend, theaters across Calgary were packed with teenagers eager to see a movie about the game they grew up playing. The excitement was high, but the viewing experience quickly became very chaotic.
The movie itself wasn't that great. I mean, it was enjoyable, but sort of got every line was repeated and like popcorn was thrown everywhere and everyone was clapping, so it was kind of hard to hear the movie at times.
The viewing havoc became viral on TikTok after its launch, and it attracted more people to see it.
When the opening trailer was released, it's kind of stupid, like the way some of the lines are delivered, so it got turned into a meme, and I feel like people went to go see it just because of the meme.
It also made the job of cinema workers way more demanding. Cineplex told State Newsfile in a statement, with major blockbuster releases, at times movie excitement can turn into disruptive behavior, which our team does their best to resolve in the moment.
A lot of us were stressed. A lot of people cried when they went on break, like, because just from the amount of people get really rude. Like, either the kids are annoying, the teenagers are kind of belligerent, and then the old people are just, like, fed up.
This disruptive behavior affected the viewing experience of families who wanted to enjoy this kids' movie together. Despite making over $160 million over the weekend, the Minecraft movie theater experience is not for everyone. If you do decide to go, you better get ready for a shower of popcorn. For State Newsfile, I'm Noah Abel.
There's a new Calgary-made indie film that is getting a lot of attention. It was produced by a brother and a sister with no experience in making movies. Sam Algarani is covering the story. Sam, it's based on their experiences at the family furniture store.
Yes, that's correct, Colton. Eric and Renee Amber have worked at Amber's Furniture, and they spent the last 4 years creating a film about the furniture business. The film is called Retail, and it's now streaming on Amazon Prime.
Retail is the indie comedy every retail worker has been waiting for, created by siblings Eric and Renee Amber and their good friend Patrick Downing. This hilarious film is inspired by their real-life experiences working in their family's business, Amber's Furniture, where customer service often meant dealing with the absurd, the frustrating, and the downright unbelievable. Filmed on a low budget, the project was a collaborative effort featuring store employees and local actors.
So we would chat about it. He came back to the family business here in the store, started a family, and then eventually we were like, you know what, we should make a movie about working in a furniture store. We have the store, and we just wrote the script in here every day, kind of like living in the space, meeting, like every day someone would come in and do something silly.
Eric and Patrick had a vision for years and finally decided to pull the trigger and shoot their shot.
But then, of course, I got married and had kids and needed a real job, so I, kind of leaned back into the family business. But all in the back of my head, I was always thinking about comedy, and I thought all the experiences that I had here was like, this is a perfect idea for a TV show. But because we didn't really have the budget for a TV show, we thought, let's just make a movie. Don't sit around hoping that a gig's gonna come. Just do it. Make your music, shoot your video, paint your art, just do what you love.
The team hopes their film Retail will serve as a pilot for a future TV series and is now streaming on Amazon Prime Video.
I've seen the trailer, guys, and it looks amazing. I can't wait to go home and watch it. Back to you, Colton.
Absolutely. Thank you, Sam. That's Sam Elgarani reporting live from the state campus. Those are today's top stories. We'll have a full weather forecast after the break, but first, Olivia Walker has a look at what's going around Calgary this week.
Head down to the Edgemont Community Center for the Spring Toy Show. With Hot Wheels, Barbie, Transformers, action figures, My Little Pony, Pokemon, and much more. Are you ready to experience April wine like never before? With chart-topping hits like Roller, You Could Have Been a Lady, and Sign of the Gypsy Queen, this will be the ultimate musical experience. It's time to spring into the sweetest spring fun with the most adorable event of the year. Bring your babies to the Butterfield Acres Spring Babies Festival and meet all the new animal babies on the farm. If you love pets, come to be entertained and educated in all things animal this weekend at Spruce Meadows. With events such as dog races, mini petting zoos, sheep herding, and horse show jumping, you can't miss it. I'm Olivia Walker and welcome back. Today we'll be taking a look at today's weather around Canada. Down in Vancouver, it is 7 degrees and cloudy. Edmonton is seeing a little bit of sun and 4 degrees. Regina is 2 degrees and cloudy. And Winnipeg is sitting at 4 degrees and cloudy. On the east coast of the map, Toronto is 1 degrees and cloudy. Montreal is -2 and cloudy. Halifax is 2 degrees and cloudy. And up in St. John's, it is 3 degrees and cloudy. Now we'll be taking a look at our resorts. It's 25 degrees in Palm Springs with sun. Barbados is sitting at 29 but with some wind. Cancun is mostly sunny sitting at 25. Honolulu is the only place to see some cloud while at 21. And Orlando and Las Vegas are bright and sunny while resting at 22. Taking a look at Calgary today, it is sitting at 5 degrees with partly cloudy conditions. Winds are going northwest at 16 kilometers per hour, and later tonight we'll see a little bit of sun. Taking a look at Alberta, in Banff it is -1 and cloudy. Up in Grand Prairie it is 3 degrees and cloudy. Fort McMurray is 2 degrees and sunny. Down in Red Deer it is partly cloudy and 2 degrees. Lethbridge is 7 degrees and cloudy, and Medicine Hat is 6 degrees and sunny. Now I'll be taking a look at our 5-day forecast. Tonight will be clear with a low of 5 degrees. Tomorrow will be cloudy with a high of 16 and a low of 1. Thursday will be sunny with a high of 15 and a low of 5. Friday we'll see a little bit of rain, so make sure you grab your umbrellas, and we'll have a high of 7 and a low of 1. And then on Saturday, it'll be cloudy with a high of 7 and a low of -2. Next up is sports with Haven de Pair after the break.
What are you doing?
I'm bored and hungry and I have to work soon.
Why not go to Lunchbox Theater?
Theater? That's too expensive.
It's much cheaper than most.
For 50 years, they've been showing one-act plays made by local writers. And since they're right next to the Calgary Tower in the Vertigo Theater, you can grab a meal from nearby and eat it at the show.
So, what do you think?
Check out the website to see current productions, book tickets, or donate to the arts.
Welcome back to St. Newsfile. Haven Tilbury joins us now for a look at sports. Haven, what can we expect?
Well, Colton, we're going to be taking a look at the Calgary Flames and the Blue Jays today. Hockey players in Calgary can look forward to some more ice time very soon. Construction started today on 2 new much-needed arenas in southwest Calgary. Joel Pravarnik has more on the story.
Calgary will be building new twin arenas in the Glenmore Athletic Park to eventually replace the aging Stupa Part Arena. The new arena will be 2 stories and include 2 ice surfaces. The city's director of recreation says these new arenas could open the door to other projects.
But also in the Glenmore Athletic Park, we have a new track that's opening soon. We'll be accepting bookings by June, new outdoor washroom facilities to support that.
Construction for the arena is happening now, and it's expected to be done by 2027 and be ready for the fall. The project is costing just over $80 million with funding from Hockey Calgary. The Calgary Royals will be moving to the new arena, and the president, Juanita Renwick, talked about how it'll impact their association.
We'll be able to have a facility that we can depend on. So we have in the past years had it go down. It's past its life expectancy. So with the new arena, this will allow us to be able to have confidence in having ice times.
This arena will make things easier in terms of trying to find ice to rent for whatever occasion, and it will add a new modern touch that Stu didn't have. It will also include solar panels on the top to help power the rink while using clean energy. There have been lots of memories held in Stupid Part Arena, whether it's those championship-winning teams or just hanging out with your friends and families. No matter what, those memories will be missed. But we are looking forward and ahead to the new Twin Arenas, where hopefully lots more memories will be made. For State Newsfile, I'm Joel Pavarnik.
The Calgary Flames continue their playoff push tonight in Anaheim. They're 4 points behind Minnesota for the final wild card spot in the West. With 5 games remaining, Calgary earned a 2-point win on Monday and a 3-2 win over San Jose, despite a slow start. A win tonight would make Friday's home game against the Wild critical in the standings. Minnesota also plays tonight, hosting San Jose. Reports indicate forwards Kirill and Joel Eriksson may return from injury. The Calgary Flames gave the nod to journeyman Justin Kirkland as the team nomination for the Masterson. Although his Cinderella season was cut short, Kirkland has blossomed into a fan favorite. Kirkland was speechless to receive the nod from Flames for the Flames Bill Masterson Memorial Trophy, the annual award that goes to a player who exemplifies perseverance, sportsmanship, and dedication to hockey. Kirkland spent years bouncing around the American Hockey League, but appears to have found a full-time spot in the NHL. The Calgary Canucks came out strong Tuesday night, skating past the Drumheller Dragons with a 3-1 victory at the Memorial Arena. With goaltending from Luca Reno and a clutch shorthanded goal in the third, Calgary controlled the pace and silenced the home crowd. The Canucks outshot the Dragons 36-25 and killed off key penalties, while forwarded Bowden Singleton dished out 3 assists to lead the offense. It was a disciplined and well-rounded performance from the visiting side, who has grabbed 2 points on the road and kept momentum rolling. Kenny Sutton opened the scoring in the first. In the second, Tristan Payne tied it up for Drumheller on the power play, but Alexei answered quickly with the game winner. And in the third, Rhett Milek sealed it shorthanded, with Singleton and Jolly both notching 2 assists on the night. The Vancouver Canucks stay alive in the Western Conference wildcard race after an improbable comeback win over Dallas Tuesday night. Trailing 5-2 with a minute to go in the third, the Canucks pulled off a historic rally. 0-2 Ratu kicked off the comeback, followed by Pew Suter. 30 seconds later, Suter scored again with 6 seconds remaining. Kiefer Sherwood scored overtime, winner for Vancouver. The Canucks are the first team in history to overcome a 3-goal deficit in the final minute of the game. Canada's national women's hockey team is battle-ready for the Women's World Hockey Championship in Czechia. Captain Canada Marie-Philippe Poulin knows the challenge ahead, but is confident heading into the first round. Against Finland on Thursday, Canada and Finland are in Pool A alongside the US, Switzerland, and host Czechia. The round robin officially got underway earlier today, giving Canada an extra day of rest before hitting the ice. The Toronto Blue Jays are off to a steady start in the East sitting first in the division, and the Yankees are trailing close behind. The team is currently on a 2-game winning streak and heads into the final game of the series against Boston, with momentum on their side. The Blue Jays have made it clear their focus is firmly set on securing a series sweep against the Red Sox. And that's a look at sports.
Absolutely, Haven. Hopefully the Jays can keep it rolling all the way to the playoffs. After the break, more families are moving to Alberta, and that's causing class size problems in school systems. That story when we come back.
You ready? Let's do it.
Very tough not to have to cleanse. Davis on the flank. Davis on the side. TP coming in. Faker looking to make the play against Ruler. Owner goes in. Yes. And again, the combos are clean. The hostile takeover.
Feel the excitement in esports together. Learn more about local esports events on esportsalberta.ca.
Kids shouldn't have to worry about where they get their next meal. That's why Brown Bagging for Calgary Kids is so much more than a lunch program. It's a community of volunteers, donors, and friends, taking meaningful action to connect kids through healthy food. With over 600 volunteers who help feed over 6,500 kids every school day, helping students get the food they need to reach their full potential. For more information on how you can get involved, visit brownbaggingforcalgarykids.org.
Alberta is growing more and more every year. With that comes record high enrollment in K-12 schools. This is putting a clear strain on the public school systems. Declan Nishimara reports.
Alberta is growing more and more every year. More families are living here now than ever. And with that comes record high enrollment. This is putting a clear strain on the public school system. In 2024, the Alberta Teachers Association said that 61% of teachers saw an increase in class size. Some schools are seeing classes as big as 56. Lynn Simmons was the former president of the Alberta Teachers Association, and she has experienced large class sizes before.
If you had more than even 20 students in your class, if those students had a lot of different abilities and needs, both behavioral and learning, it became much more difficult with the larger class sizes.
According to statistics from Alberta Education, some 200 schools in Alberta are over capacity. The lack of resources results in split classes and other repercussions that are detrimental to the teachers and students.
In art classes or music classes, it was especially hard to have a big class. In other classes, you tend to devote individual time to people that are having problems so that you end up spending less time with other kids. They kind of get ripped off in a way, I suppose, of your time.
Schools are looking to adjust attendance boundaries and grade configurations to try and accommodate for population challenges. For St. Newsfile, I'm Declan Ishimura.
Those are a look at today's top stories. Olivia Walker is back for one more look at the 5-day forecast. Olivia?
Well, Golden, like I said earlier, it'll be clear tonight with some sun and a low of 5. Tomorrow will be cloudy with a high of 16 and a low of 1. Thursday will be sunny again with a high of 15 and a low of 4. Friday we'll see some rain with a high of 7 and a low of 1. And on Saturday, it'll be a high of 7 and a low of 2. So guys, are we hitting the patios this weekend? What are we doing?
Absolutely. I can't wait for the Moxie's Barlow patio to open up.
Oh yeah, I bet. What are you going to do, Haven?
I'm going to head to Earl's.
Perfect.
For St. Newsfile, have a good night.